And now we're recording. But no, I feel like I need to pick a new intro music
Why?
because I feel like the intro really does set the tone. And if you hear the intro music to Hitchhiker's Guide to E&M, it fits it. Like right before I get to recording, I have it played in my head where it's like, doo, 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 doo. And then I just go from there as if I'm literally hearing the music live. But the music for this one is like, duh, 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 duh. It's like, man,
I
you
can.
like, are you in trouble?
Maybe.
I mean, maybe, but still, maybe I'll just because again, shout out to the Google Library because that I got for free. All I have to do is be like, hey, this person made it, and that's all I gotta do. Just provide credit, and I get to use the music. So
That works.
maybe next week when I have like downtime, I'll just be able to just comb through some more music, send you some since this what the music selection wasn't collaborative. I just literally picked two things.
We did.
Now the exit music. Mwah.
I love how passionate you are about this.
Look, bad intentions. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, I might just go ahead and put that one in front and just make it work like that. Just pick that one music, it will be good.
We'll see.
So we'll see. See? It's because you're tired. I'm gonna let you make it. It's because you're tired.
We're gonna do it.
All right, wait. Okay, I already said it. We already started recording. So let's go ahead and welcome everybody back to another episode of Big Letter, Little Letter Podcast with your host, Hedo.
And me, Jam.
A sleepy jam where we're just going to go ahead and be here to discuss certain things in regard to BDSM kink and maybe some things in between.
Yeah, I mean, hold on, because technically you're tired too. I am just not as good as hiding it as you are.
See, it's not a matter of hiding it. I'm like a car where, yes, the gas is going to run out, but guess what? It's going to sound like there's still gas in there, until it goes put, put, put.
That must be nice. My car don't do that.
But like I said, we are a podcast where we come here to discuss certain things around the kink, BDSM, and the fun, naughty things that's in between.
Mhm.
But before we get into today's episode, let's go ahead and get a little caught up because we recorded one episode in the new year, so this will be episode number 2.
Yeah, I think so.
See, there we go. Already keeping pace with my other podcast because guess what I didn't do? Record a third episode.
Get on it. No, I almost don't even want to hold you to your other podcast because I feel like you've been recording that one and it's easier than trying to catch you to record this one.
Maybe.
Uh-huh.
See, this one wasn't my fault because you're a sleepy lady when it came to your job working you to the bone, which again, ghetto. Um but no, it's just literally about matching times because there'll be times where I'm just up and ready, but you be doing your doula thing and they be needing you.
It's 3 a.m. and he's up and ready.
Well, I work until 7 in the morning Central Time, so yeah, I'll be up and ready.
Okay. I'm not doing it with you tonight, sir.
All right, fine. Since you're not gonna do it with me tonight, let's go ahead and what have you been doing for the past week then?
I'm working. um, actually, society is back, up and running. And it really gets me going when we have society things going on.
What society?
Black Queer Dom Society.
Okay, I know you've brought up quite a few things with them before. I think they're having something later this year. I can't remember.
You better remember because it's going to be the greatest thing that has ever happened. And I will definitely tell you all more about it because it was already told to us that this is the only time it's ever going to happen. We're never going to do it again.
All right, all right. Yes, it's in the calendar. But I'm glad the society is up and running. Anything going on recently that you're excited about, or is that more down the line?
Um, well, we have been planning for submissive virtual retreat. That's April 27th. So I can't wait to share more information about who all will be there. But it's free and open to the public. So if you've ever been super curious about what submission looks like to you, It's a really good event to go to. I'll definitely be posting about it. I'm definitely gonna make Hedo put it on Instagram since he still hasn't given me the login yet. And we've just been growing and learning. We had actually had like a financial type meeting, and then in a couple of weeks or next week we have a meeting about setting goals for the new year where we get to bring a guest. So maybe one lucky person will get to come on to that workshop with me.
Okay, well, fingers crossed. I'm positive there'll be a great time.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Well, that's good. I would say, in regards to me, for the past week or two, shit, was my birthday 2 weeks ago? No, was it? Shit, it was.
Yes,
2 weeks ago was my birthday. Happy birthday to
sure
me.
was.
And that weekend, so I'm part of a group, ATX Black Poly and Play. And we hosted an event in Dallas, which to start off the new year with this play party. Sold out. It was a great time. It was a great vibe. And that's why I spent my birthday. Got to perform a co-topping forced orgasm scene with the people that came from Houston Urban Kinksters. So yeah, they made a road trip and came down, which was dope also. I'm happy that they were able to make it. But yeah, it was like a kind of situation where I assisted in binding the lady to this post. Well, essentially it was like a bed, one of those canopy beds. So I
Mm-hmm.
had each leg sprawled out, tied to each post. Shout out to my rope work. And then we just had like an orgasm scene go on where I had like my machine gun with the dildo attachment. There was some nipple clamps and nipple suckers, and this particular individual was brought up to my attention that was a masochist. So my happy little sadist heart was able to have a little fun with that.
Excited.
Huh?
Somebody got excited.
Oh yeah, because see, the best way I could put it is I'm a dick. So when it comes to situations like I'll just be like having a casual conversation. Again, she's bound. There's no way that she can move her hands or legs. And it's like, so yeah, so this is what's gonna happen. Da, da, da. We once get the consent, cool. We're doing the scene, and then every now and again, pinch a nipple. Like
That's it.
not coordinated, not planned. It's just a random bam. And it's
Yeah.
like the key to providing like little tippy tip, the key to providing certain amount of pain, like you can provide a lot of pain, but it has to be quick. You can't provide heavy amounts of pain for a long duration. It's too stressful on the nerves, it's too stressful on the person. But a quick sharp pain where they get like it's too quick to even recognize like fuck that hurt, but then it's already like getting the endorphins and the relaxing. Like that's a little tippy tip for those that want to mind fuck somebody. Now, be
Um,
sure you get consent because not everyone's here for a mind fuck.
right.
But again, just like a quick, did it get the engine revving?
Things in BDSM that will make you a terrible person out of another world.
But yeah, that was fun. And then, well, this week just went ahead. Did I do anything last week? I feel like I did, but I didn't. But this week, just went to Houston, met with a couple people, ended up hotboxing with a close friend, and then doing some sensual stuff, which was fun.
Mm, I'm glad you had a really good birthday.
Why, thank you. I'm getting old, so time to get this all packed up and in the gym.
That's okay. You're fine.
Oh no, I know I'm fine, but hey,
Have
health is wealth.
mercy. Well, I just got my own little routine going. Oh my gosh. Look what I found.
What'd you find?
You guys can't see, but he can.
The is that maca tablet? Oh, my
Gummy
maca gummies.
bears. They're gummy bears and they're delicious.
She got maca root. That's what she got.
What
She got
am
the.
I supposed to do? You're in the gym and drinking your green smoothies, and you're getting all energized. And what am I supposed to do? Just sit around
I didn't
and
say you had to sit around,
girl?
but don't
Are
be
you
don't
kidding me?
don't hide the fact they're maca. You're like, oh yeah, they're just gummies. No, these get you juicier than juicy fruit.
I
Get Get you juicier than Starburst. Get you juicier than Juicy Juice.
Listen, we have much power, but well, little power.
And on that note, let's actually go into the episode. All right, so today what we will be focusing on is the letter P, which is for protocol.
Today.
I don't even know why you said today. Again, P is for protocol. So, Jam, what is protocol?
Protocol is my favorite thing. But for people who don't know, protocol is the rules and behaviors that govern a BDSM relationship dynamic. It helps you define the hierarchy between partners.
You got an example for us?
Yes, so you might have a submissive that calls their dominant sir or madam. Also, in caregiver situations, you might have mommies or daddies. And in these dynamics, people will set certain rules like when we're at an event, you must call me by sir or mommy. And whenever I walk into a room, you must put your hands out in front of you so that I can hold them.
So yeah, so those right there are a few examples of what protocol may look like. Essentially, different power dynamics in the BDSM dynamic will lead to different set of protocols and honorifics. So as she was saying, the baseline you'll normally hear is sir or madam, but then it can go a bit further than that. You can have honorifics like daddy, mommy, boy, girl. Honorifics like goddess, god, slave, master. So there are various
We
forms of.
advocated for some really good ones at our last at our end of summer event. A lot of people didn't even have their honorifics yet, and our house sub so graciously helped them come up with some really good ones. So like an honorific can be anything that feels good to you, and a lot of times people want them to be a good descriptor, like how people call me kitten.
So yeah, along with those, the pet play, yeah, kitten. So yeah, and this behavior, this whole honorific and the whole protocol thing essentially is enforced with the behaviors that define that dynamic and the rituals that take place in said relationship. Like, for example, when Jam's talking about when you come in the room, hold your hand out, that way you can be held. Others can include making sure that before you leave, you let your dominant or master know that you're leaving, or in this case, let your big letter know what you're doing. And like I said, we just have various honorifics. Like I already said, sir, ma'am, goddess, daddy, mommy, caregiver, dom, dame, domina, master, mistress. On the little letter side, you'll have baby boy, baby girl, little one, little boy, little girl, slave, pet, kitten, pup. So it's just there's multiple variations. Like yes, you have your standards because the easiest one, like sub is the basic one, but someone might prefer subby because they want to be kind of a little, but also more on the side of a sub. So it's
Hmm.
just a lot of variations of honorifics that can be anything that you want it to be between your dynamic. But also, on the other hand, you should only use honorifics with a partner that you're in a dynamic with.
Yes, please say it louder for the people in the back.
I mean, you should only use honorifics with a partner you're in a dynamic with.
Right.
Like
Or at
never,
least ask.
but no, because like it happens a lot, especially on FetLife, especially at parties. Like you should never assume that you can just refer to someone by a given name.
Hmm.
So I already told some people about my story because there was a I guess a GIF I think it was a gift or a video where they kind of made a play on someone that's kind of avoiding somebody, where you had like an unknown person trying to call someone daddy. It was like a dominant just turning away from them, not even trying to pay attention to them because
Yeah.
I don't know the gentleman. I'm sure that he is a horrible person, but he slid in my DMs and was hitting me up with, "Hey, daddy, how you doing?" And the reason why I say a horrible person is because there are certain boundaries that are established. Like, it'll be one thing if I was deceitful in my profile of who I am. Like, if I put I was queer, non binary, bisexual, pansexual, like, if I gave any indication to where I would want a male sub, or I'm interested in penile owners, or just, anyone that is not of my liking, then I could be like, no, no, he might have misunderstood. It's nothing. But when you go out of your way to not only slide into my DMs to try to get my attention, but to call me daddy, like, I am not your. Even amongst my lady friends, there's only one person that has like explicit permission to call me daddy. And even that is a stretch because I don't really care for that honorific. But in that case, it was like something that's comforting for her. And I was like, you know what? You have my permission to call me as such because that is what we established. But for a random person in New York to just hit my line and be like, "Hey, daddy," no, sir, like, not cool. And I can only imagine what the ladies get, especially the dames, where they,
Yeah.
because I like, because the sub women, they will get a lot of unnecessary name calls. Non kinky people get the "hey baby girl" stuff, so it's not like that's something that's going to be out of the ordinary. But I can only imagine the mistresses and dames and what they get, and that's the reason why I can truly understand why they say, "Before you talk to me, pay tribute."
Listen, Mistress Marley says it all the time. She gets those weird messages. They're like, "Hey, mistress. Hey, miss." Like, relax. Just because I do this work doesn't mean that you can put your submission on me. And frankly, there was a lot of assumption made in the message in that one sentence that you got.
So yes, just once again, you should only use honorifics with a partner that you're in a dynamic with. That's is comforting for all parties.
Or ask. I will say in many consent conversations, like one of the questions is, what do you prefer to be called? When do you prefer to be called these things?
All right, now speaking in regards to protocol and honorifics, I have a very good friend who used to help coordinate with Limitless Lux. She is now finding something of her own known as Submissive Study Hall. Lady Aspen, very good
I
friend of
love
mine.
Lady Yasmin.
But yeah, she shared something in. So I'm in the Discord for the Houston Urban Kingsters.
Mm.
And she shared something that was like very important where I literally tapped her on the shoulder. I was like, "I am taking this," with your consent, of course, but I'm taking this and I'm going to give you credit. So again, Lady Aspen of Submissive Study Hall.
Hi, I love you.
So what she wrote is essentially a protocol is the what. No, sorry. A protocol, which is the what, is different from a ritual, which is the how, and a task, which is the action. So, protocol, that's the behaviors expected by both partners at any specific time. So, for an example, the protocol is a submissive will greet the dominant daily and before bed nightly. Again, that is the what. That's what the protocol is. The ritual, how partners are expected to carry out these behaviors. In this instance, the submissive will communicate greetings via text or FaceTime call. Again, that's the how. Task is what partners are expected to do. Again, the action. Submissive calls or texts routinely at 8 a.m. when his, her, their alarm goes off.
I feel like that's pretty clear.
Yeah, again, submissive study hall. Like she knows her stuff.
I mean, it's really good. I've done the high protocol dinner. Even when Lady Aspen was first learning all about, so I'm really excited to see that she's putting it into action.
Yeah, I gotta make sure. Like it's honestly, I am building a web of accountability with multiple people where
Mhm.
I hold her accountable, you hold me accountable, she holds me accountable, I hold you accountable. It's a whole lot of Spider-Man memes of pointing at each other to like, yo, get on your shit.
It's beautiful, and I love it.
All right, Jam, what's next?
Well, people are probably like, well, how the heck do you even set this up? So I guess we should talk about where to start and what the purpose is of all of these tasks, protocols, rituals, and all of
Okay.
that. So, something to think about when you're creating this in a dynamic is what is the submissive working on? Is it developing healthy routines? Um, does the submissive or dominant need assistance with regular aftercare? Because task protocols, rituals, they're not just for the submissive, they're also for the dominant. Like, this is a dynamic, both parties benefit from it. And then something you might also think about is, are you establishing moments of intimacy by following some protocols or rituals?
Okay. Now, I would say to get through all those, we also should touch on the various levels of protocol.
Yes.
Because there so when we say multiple levels, it's not like Pokemon. It's not like you reach one thing then you climb up. Like, no, these are essentially tiers of how a certain level how certain protocols fit into a certain criteria. Now, most commonly, the most well-known one is high protocol, but that's not the only one. For some, all right, because it can depend, because again, 8 billion people in the world as of today. That means we have 8 billion different opinions. That means, like, at some point, some will agree, some will disagree, some will fudge up something that someone else made. So, some salt will be thrown on this, some grains of salt will be thrown. But yes, the most commonly and like well regarded is high protocol. When you go to the other tiers, it gets a little murky because some people establish them as medium and low protocol. Others consider just low protocol, only low and high protocol, with the subset below that being social protocol.
Yeah, I think we found a pretty good resource though that does a good job explaining it in kind of an open-ended way that should help you all understand what we mean in these levels of protocol. But with the understanding that you kind of create what you want your dynamic to look like.
Because no, that's right. Like, and I will go ahead and drop the link. The best one that we did locate was via Kinky Curiosity. So they did kind of break down how they see low, medium, and high. Where low protocol is primarily about behaviors in casual settings.
Hmm.
Medium protocol is focused on actions and manners. High protocol is about formal behaviors and etiquette, which honestly, that's as clear cut as it goes.
Yeah.
And if you want to go with the, like I said, social low high, just move low into medium and just put social where low is. And that's literally the exact same thing. Because
Yeah.
when we're
So when
talking,
you're talking about social low, what are we talking about?
okay, so when we were talking about low protocol, we were just talking about day to day vanilla setting as protocol. The tasks that are set in a manner that is not, what's the best way to put it? That's not eye catching to the normal base of society. Primary example of a low or a social protocol. Well, I'm just gonna say low because we got
Yeah.
medium. I'm not gonna just say
Okay.
medium low. This ain't sweet and low. Now, for low protocol, for example, one of the more popular options in regards to low protocol are forever collars that are kind of that look like necklaces. Like between you and your big letter, that
Hmm.
necklace is a set bond, but to the rest of the world, oh, that's a cute necklace. outside of the if you know, wink, wink. Other examples, you are not allowed to leave a space without letting your big letter know. And that could be hidden well in the, all right, y'all, I'm about to go to the restroom.
Right.
Like, you don't have to directly say, sir, may I go to the restroom? That will go in the realm of more so high protocol. So those are kind of examples of low protocol. It's just basically your day to day, like, hey, protocol is every hour you must drink at least 8 ounces of water. Like, it's just the bare minimum things that you and your the big letter, little letter just establish amongst one another. Could be done during negotiations or anything to that effect. It's also more common in those 24/7 dynamics.
Yeah, I think for people just starting out, the easiest way to think about it is how would you treat like your best friend? And I'm not gonna go into how some people really are not friends with one another, but I think women especially will understand this. It's like we don't go to the bathroom without one another because safety. And then like you tell people when you get home. So that's a good idea. That's a good example of like protocols with reason. Like they might establish a safety. They might establish a connection. So when you know that like I'm always here with you, I'm acknowledging you. So I know that you are safe. You're letting me know where you're going.
See? And now, when you move up to the next tier, which is medium protocol, again, this is more about actions and manners. Now, when you move up from, because again, low protocol is literally going outside in society. That's typically when you invoke low protocol when you're dynamics. Medium protocol, you will more so see this in BDSM settings or at the bare minimum private settings. And medium protocol, when in effect, is typically at a certain event, certain locations like a dungeon or a sex club, etc., or even during a scene. And this is where honorifics are normally invoked.
Hmm.
Again, you don't want the random outside in the grocery store, hey subby, go get some Oreos. Like, that kind of throws people off, like, subby. So that's the reason why low protocol you don't really see usage of honorifics. Medium protocols where you start to see them. They are typically your sir, your ma'ams, your my lord, my ladies, things to that effect. And the protocol is generally your everyday expectations and formalities that you set up. But again, it's normally in like right place, right time kind of deal.
Hmm.
And this is a good time to let people know that protocol is relative. There is no handbook for BDSM protocol where these are all the guidelines and times you use it. No, like honestly, there could be someone that treat their dynamic where having a leash and walking in a grocery store to them is low protocol.
Might be a good time.
So,
But like,
so you
I joke, I kid, but not really.
joke, huh? Airport
I
coming
have a
soon.
lot to do with company.
Um, but in general, so another person can't dictate the protocol level of another. So I can't just look at you like, hey, that's a high protocol situation. This should be a low. Like, no, don't like. Let's just treat it as if it's a scene. Do not interrupt that scene. You keep it moving.
Right.
And
And
oh,
also, like when you're establishing these things, it really has to do with comfort. Like, I might be like, yes, I would love to call you, sir, and let you walk me on a leash to the grocery store. But if you're not comfortable walking with someone on a leash in a grocery store, then I can't make you do that. And it goes both ways.
so yeah, and then so the final part, high protocol. This again, formal behavior and etiquette. This one is primarily event focused, where the attention is based on movement, posture, speech, eye contact,
Mhm.
behavior, ability to follow instructions, things to that effect. So when it comes to high protocol, the scenario is a little bit more turned up than medium. Because,
Mhm.
for example, we are brought it up. Lady Aspen, she helped with orchestrating the Limitless Lux High Protocol dinners, where they literally took time out to make sure all the little letters were trained in how they were supposed to behave for their big letters.
Yes.
Shout out to
Um,
Bittersweet Tea, because she was the main orchestrator of training the little letters. So it's a lot that goes into it when it comes to high protocol. It does take time to learn. Some people are just okay chilling with the medium level. They don't care to be as strict or as knowledgeable with etiquette.
Right. You'll see high protocol more in people who enjoy attending high protocol events with their partners, or um, people who engage in a 24/7 kind of BDSM lifestyle. But I will say, I did the high protocol dinner. It was a heck of a joyous time. It was my first experience with high protocol and learning like positioning and some classic things like how to serve, how to take things away, and then also some other high protocol things with people who aren't dominant in this setting, because we were, I guess, what you could call a house submissives, which means that the person running the event is basically in charge of all of us, and we make shit happen because that's what submissives do. But it went down to like, when do you talk to people? How do you ask for their things? Remembering orders. Who do you get to talk to? And it can be really fun.
Nice. See, I wanted to go, but the Houston one got canceled. I couldn't have made it. But there was one more, again, kinkycuriosity.com. I'll be sure to drop the link in the show notes. But there was also one more that was brought up, which was Invisible Protocol. So with Invisible Protocol, this is more about discretion in vanilla places or around vanilla people, because guess what? Kids, we don't do this in front of them.
It's like wearing a panty vibrator.
So when it comes to this, it's purely about being discreet but still keeping that dynamic protocol active. And it literally could be something as simple as wearing a color that your dominant has instructed you to wear, or not eating before your dominant begins to eat. Like just basic things that if someone walked by, they would have no idea what's going on.
That's a good stuff. There's
Um,
something about doing things out in the open.
cause yeah, coming, and now that we know that, cause we're gonna just wrap this up soon. Kind of like to begin the where to start portion. Honestly, I would say where to start is kind of for everyone to learn your role.
Hmm.
You shouldn't wait until you find your somebody to know what your role dictates.
Definitely. I think start thinking about like, what is your level of comfort with BDSM? Like, are you the type of person that only wants to do it in play parties or in dungeons? Or are you the type of person that's like, I want to see what this looks like out in my vanilla life, which will no longer be so vanilla? And then maybe think about like who you are as a person. What kinds of things do you want other people involved in? Because there, it comes down to the little things like, do I want somebody picking out my clothes, or do I want to be ready for someone at a very specific time every single day, or are those things that you rather just keep to yourself?
Yeah, and to piggyback on that, it really will come down to also trying to figure out who are you in this space,
Hmm.
because a lot of the defaults, especially from the fake doms, is oh yeah I'm a dom, not even realizing what it means to be a dominant. They treat the I'm a dom as if to say I'm an alpha.
Yeah. But
That's
who
how
has all the power, Hedo?
we all know the subs have all the power. Like I'm not even annoyed by that. Like yeah, keep your power, and when you share with me, just be ready for what you're sharing. But no, because it's really discover who you are. Because there are quite a few people that claim like the reason why they're saying oh I'm a dom is because they think they're supposed to be an alpha. Alpha's not real. The doctor that discovered it realized, oh no, they actually co-parent. There is no alpha wolf, and yet because it sounds cool, people just run with like, no, there's no such thing as an alpha. Stop trying to use that as a way to be a dick to everybody. Same thing with doms. Like you can't say you're a dom if you don't understand that protocol is what makes the dom. Etiquette is what makes the dom. Emotional intelligence is what makes the dom. Not just simply, oh, I just want to tell people what to do and have them do it.
Damn, Hedo, you get me so excited when you talk about things like this.
But yes, discover who you are. Because I have a gentleman who is a very good friend, who's very knowledgeable, and he knows his stuff, and he will tell you he's a service top. He will never try to say that he is a dom, because what he enjoys doing is what he does. What he doesn't want to do is the extended aftercare stuff. Like, he wants to do this. He wants to negotiate, do the scene, aftercare, check on you after said aftercare, and then leave you alone. He is not trying to be that responsible for an individual, and that's okay because he knows who he is. He discovered, yeah, this is my limit. This is where I want to be. You don't have to go to the extremes in order to enjoy this kind of lifestyle.
Yes, do not be scared to speak your truth in this space. That's the only way you can play safely, comfortably here.
And of course, the number one thing when it comes to protocol outside, like, we are already assuming you have vetted this person, you feel comfortable with this person, you are here to establish said dynamic with this person. One thing that kind of gets lost because you assume it's blanketed, but it's not, because it's easily reversible, is consent.
No, we don't play about consent around these pots.
Look, consent violation is a death sentence in the Black King community, so you
Oh,
want to be
hell
on your
yeah.
P's and Q's.
All right, we're not doing that out here. At least take some responsibility. Listen, at some point, you're going to be a consent violator. It's not going to be on purpose. But the important part is that you take accountability in realizing where things went wrong. And I think when, especially when you're talking protocol, you really have to remember that the development of these rituals, these tasks, those protocols, they happen after many, many, many discussions about what people need, what your boundaries are, what you really want. And it's important so that your boundaries are not disrespected or crossed. So, study, 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 study. Like, I'm sorry, it's gonna feel like school, but like, if you really want to do it, I mean, wouldn't you want to learn it? Study. Who are you? Study your partner. Study what you want to do here. Study what you actually like. Go to therapy. So many things. So many things, but please, consent is important.
So yeah, that's pretty much all we got when it comes to protocol for this episode.
Yes.
All right, Jam. It seems like we should go ahead and wrap up. What do you have for the peoples?
I want you to know that if you have questions, comments, answers, resources, we'll take it. Send an email, hit up the IG. Just hit up our IG. I would love more followers on our IG, so don't be trying to follow me. I'm gonna send you to the pod IG. It's big letter, little letter, right?
Yeah.
On IG. Go there. I love questions. I love answering questions. And I love resources.
And yeah, the email is the big letter, little letter pod at gmail.com.
Perfect.
As for me, I am Hedo. You feel free to follow me. I am Sir.Hedo on Instagram, Sir_Hedo on Twitter, Sir Hedo on FetLife. And be sure to check out my other podcasts, Hitchhiker's Guide to E&M.
Yeah, do that.
It's been pretty solid.
About that later. But love the name change.
Which one? The Sir Hedo or...
Hedo.
I mean, look.
Wow.
I'm an honorific gentleman.
Look who's in charge. Kind of.
All right, peoples. It's a pleasure having you here. Just, be careful when you're out here being kinky. Because, we're team safe and kinky around these parts.
We are.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.